About sherry, things that everyone should know who drinks and wants to drink sherry. So it comes from Andalusia in Spain, in the southwestern Spain. The appellation is Jerez or sherry. The type of wine we're dealing with is a fortified wine. And a fortified wine is a wine that has some alcohol added to it. Yeah? So we have a fermentation, and then some pure spirit is added to the wine. We'll come back to the details a little bit later. And then the styles, the basic styles of sherry. It can be dry, it can be sweet, it can be blended, and it can have indication of age. So normally sherry is a non-vintage drink, it's a non-vintage alcohol, but there are some sherries that have an indication of approximate age or definite vintage wine from a single year. So about the region, a few words. So we are very south of Europe, in a very warm Mediterranean climate. So the temperatures can go up quite high, to over 40 degrees as well during the summer. And there are few factors that allow producers to grow the grapes successfully and actually make wines that are interesting. But also the climate, the warmth, conditions as well, the style of wine. Yes? A lot of heat, very warm climate, normally causes that there is a low acidity in the grapes. So the styles of the sherry, they are wines that are actually made in the winery rather than in the vineyard. Yes? The winemaking processes can be very complex, and it produces wine from grapes that are relatively neutral. So the soils. The main and the most important soil is Albariza soil. And Albariza soil is soil with a high content of limestone. So as you can see on the picture, it's very white. Yes? And a few important things about Albariza. Because it is white, it reflects the sun, so it doesn't accumulate heat as the dark soil. But also, it has very good property to retain water. Yes, it can retain a lot of water from the times of the year, from the seasons of the year when there is rain, and that normally happens in autumn and winter in Jerez. So the water is accumulated, and then during the vine growing season, the water is given to the vines, yeah, so that the grapes can be produced. And now the grapes. Two main grapes, Palomino and Pedro Jimenez. Palomino grape is by far the leader. It's around 90% of all the plantings in Jerez, in sherry. And it's a grape that has, by definition, rather low acidity. It can yield quite a lot of grapes, so it can produce quite a big quantities. Pedro Jimenez is grape that is a little bit more exciting, we could say. It can give a little bit higher acidity, it can produce a little bit more sugar, so Pedro Jimenez would be the grape that is used for sweet wines. Palomino would be is a grape that is used for making dry wines, yeah? Dry styles of sherry. So the last thing that is important to remember as a part of an introduction, maturation. Yes, sherry is a style that goes through maturation, and the maturation type depends on the style of wine that the producer wants to achieve. But the minimum is 2 years. sherry has to go through at least 2 years of maturation. And one of the keywords to remember about sherry maturation is Solera. Has anyone heard this word before? Yeah? So Solera is a blending system that allows to achieve all these different styles of sherry. So the sherries can be matured in 3 main towns: Jerez, Sanlúcar de Barrameda, and Puerto de Santa Maria. And Jerez and Puerto de Santa Maria, they make a similar style of fino, and Sanlúcar de Barrameda is known for a special type of fino. It's called manzanilla, and it's a little bit lighter in style, a little bit more delicate because of the location of the region that's closer to the sea, so it's a little bit more fresh environment. Now, the styles. So we can have dry sherry, sweet sherry, or blended. So the dry style is only made with Palomino grape. Sweet sherry is made with dried Pedro Jimenez grapes. And the grapes are actually dried outside in the vineyard. So if I go back a little bit, this is an example of how Pedro Jimenez grapes are dried. They are spread on the vineyards, and they stay there for about 10 days, 2 weeks, however long it needs to dry, almost to the point of becoming a raisin. And then from this very thick must, or this very thick juice extracted from these dried fruits, as sweet Pedro Jimenez wine is made. Good. So, a few words about the actual methods, about how fino is made. So we will discuss and then taste 3 main styles of sherry. So all sherries start as a dry white wine. So the grapes are harvested and they are fermented into dry white wine. And then this dry white wine goes through a selection process. And the winemaker chooses the best wines, the most delicate wines, the purest from the best vineyards to make a fino. And fino is a wine that goes through biological aging. Yes? And biological aging is a process where the wine is in the barrel, in the solera, and on top of the wine, the barrel is filled about 5/6 of the volume. Yes? There is some space left in the barrel. And a yeast sits on top of the wine and forms a little film, a little layer, to protect the wine from oxidation, but also to transform the flavors of wine into something that we define as pungent, typical fino aromas. If you take the first glass and just give it a little smell to see what I'm referring to. Yeah? If you smell fino, this is what you should be expecting. Yeah? It's very pungent aromas. So this dry wine is 45 to 15%, and then it's aged on the floor. Yeah? So this is how it looks, more or less. And because this yeast on top of the wine is a living organism, it needs nutrition, it needs nutrients to survive. Otherwise, when there's no nutrients, the flora will disappear. So the solera system allows the yeast to receive the nutrients all the time. So just to give you an example, that the barrels are stacked on top of each other in rows. So Solera system is all about transferring the wine from one barrel to another. Yes, and I think the best picture is when the barrels are actually on top of each other, but it doesn't have to be the case. Because sometimes there can be as many as 6 or 9 different levels, and it's just too high and too dangerous to go up and down all the time. So the wine that is on the bottom level is the wine that is ready to be consumed. Yes, when the producer wants to bottle wine, they remove part of the wine from the bottom level, and they complete the wine from the level above, and so on. And the highest level, the fresh wine from the year is added. So there's a constant circulation of the wine in the Solera system. Yes, it is called fractional blending. So the yeast, the floor, has all the time supply of fresh wine, yes, to mature. And also, as I said, it protects the wine from oxidation. Yes, otherwise, wine that is in a barrel will slowly start to oxidate. And that's our fino. So, on the other end, the second main style of sherry is called Oloroso. And Oloroso is a style that is oxidatively aged. Yes? So the wine goes through oxidation process. Normally, oxidation of wine kills the wine. Yes, the wine that is oxidized, we consider it faulty when we talk about normal wines and red wines. But for making sherry, Oloroso sherry, oxidation is actually part of the process that brings in quality and specific character to the wine. And because the wine is fortified to 17%, for one thing, it allows to protect it from the floor, yes, so the floor doesn't form on top of the wine. And also the alcohol doesn't allow the wine to become vinegar, because alcohol is toxic to acetobacter that turns wine into vinegar. So once the wine is fortified, it's aged without floor in Solera system. So again, several different levels, and the wine is constantly blended together. And that's our Oloroso. So for instance, our sherry fino, the first sherry is spent about 4 or 5 years in Solera. So your fino sherry is a blend of at least 5 different vintages, but there can be more as well. And Oloroso, our example, which is in the second glass, spends about 8 years in Solera. Yeah? So there is even more vintages that are in this blend. So the aromas that we get from these 2 different types of sherry are quite distinct. Yes, the fino sherry will have this pungent aroma, a lot of yeasty, fresh dough, bready character because of constant contact with the yeast. And Oloroso will be more towards nutty character. Yes, there may be a little bit of dried fruit as well. Good. So these are the 2 styles to remember as the basic styles, fino and Oloroso. And now the third one starts as a fino. So wine aged under floor for some time, and then it's refortified, and then aged without floor in Solera. So it's first floor and then it's oxidized. And that is Amontillado. Yes, so Amontillado has a lot of complexity because in part it carries the same flavors from phenol, multiplied or enhanced also by further aging in oxidation. Any questions so far? Yes, exactly. So fluor can survive up to in the alcohol environment up to about 15.5%. Phenol is 45 to 15, so there is a 0.5%, about 1% margin. So by just fortifying, the yeast will gradually die. Yeah. So these are the dries, the three main dry sherry styles. Sweet, from dried, sun-dried Pedro Jimenez grapes. So there's so much sugar in those sun-dried grapes that the yeast cannot really ferment much of it. So it dies very quickly. It can just produce few percent of alcohol. So after that, the wine is fortified and it's aged in Solera oxidatively. Yeah? So Pedro Jimenez needs to have over 200 grams of sugar per liter. So it will always be the thickest, the heaviest style of sherry. And Pedro Jimenez can be used to blend with phenol, Amontillado and Oloroso to make sweeter style sherry. Yeah? So this is the blended category sherry. So phenol sweetened with Pedro Jimenez makes a pale cream. Amontillado makes medium, and cream, Oloroso makes cream sherry. Yeah? So there is already we have mentioned 7 different types of sherries. So if you think about just one producer making all these styles of sherry, this is really a lot of different flavors and styles and characters to enjoy and actually to implement with food pairing, but also possibilities with blending in cocktails. Good. Now, sherry also is made as wine with indication of age. And this only applies to Amontillado, Oloroso, Palo Cortado, and PX styles. And these are really very, very special, unique, and quite rare wines. They are either sherries with the certified age, so we have DOS, so very old sherry. It needs to have at least 20 years on average in the blend. Yeah? So this is tested and tasted so that the qualities level is met as well. Very old, rare sherry needs at least 30 years of average age in the blend. So quite special character as well. Then we also have sherries with indication of age, 15 years, 12 years, and then finally vintage sherries that are actually single vintage, and the blending or the filling up of the barrels is done from barrels from the same age. Yes, with so many years of aging, some of the wine evaporates from the barrel. So they're bound to lose some liquid, so they need to replace it with sherries from the same vintage when we discuss vintage sherry. But this is very, very small quantity, but it really shows the potential of sherry, and the aromas and flavors are exceptional. So we're going to taste 3 sherries, those in front of you, but we're going to apply a systematic approach to tasting by WSET. Has anyone ever tasted using the SAT? Yeah? For those of you who are not familiar with the SAT system, you can open your booklets and it's printed there for you. So I will go through the system to give you a background on how it's done. And then we will go and taste our 3 wines. So first of all, we analyze the appearance of the wine. Yeah? So we want to see the intensity. If it's pale, if it's medium or deep in color. And then depending on the color, we look for the appropriate color of the wine. Yeah? The next step is analyzing by smell, by nose. Yeah? So we try to find what's the intensity of aromas. Yes? If it's very light, we can hardly detect any aromas. Or if it's going towards pronounced, that you don't even have to put your nose in the glass and the aromas are very, very present. And then, aroma characteristics. This is quite important to sort of understand not just sherry, but all different sorts of wine. Because we can have primary, secondary, and tertiary aromas. So primary aromas, they are those that come from the grape and from alcoholic fermentation. Yes, so aromas that don't come from any special winemaking techniques, from oak, aging, or other techniques. Yeah, so they will be mostly floral, fruity, and berries, herbal, etc. Yeah, quite a long list. And this is a list that applies to all the wines. So when we taste the wines as a part of WSET courses, we use it constantly with all wines to learn to detect these aromas. Secondary aromas come from post-fermentation winemaking. So, in our case, our first wine, Fino, we said it was in the barrel under the floor of yeast. So this is one of the clusters, one of the groups of vocabulary that we'll be looking to find in our sherry. Then we have malolactic conversion, and then the final group is tertiary aromas. So aromas and flavors that appear during maturation. So when the wine is ready, it's out of the winery, normally it's in our cellar, and then with time, these tertiary aromas will appear as the wine is evolving. Yeah, so since we are dealing with white wines, we can look for these aromas, so dried fruit, almond, hazelnut, and so on. But also, our Oloroso and Amontillado wines are deliberately oxidized. So we might find these aromas and flavors as well. Yeah? Good. Questions? So let's taste. Yes, sorry, I forgot one more slide. So that was the nose and the palate. The palate, we need to analyze sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, body, flavor intensity, so again the same step as in the nose. And then flavor characteristics. So we look to confirm what we had on the nose, what we smelled on the nose when we were analyzing with the nose, if it appears when we taste the wine as well. And then how long the finish is. And when we have all this information, we decide what the quality is. So let's start with our Fino. So, Fino from Tio Pepe brand from González Díaz, 100% Palomino, and 4 or 5 years of aging in Solera. So when you look at when we're analyzing the wine, when we're analyzing the color, we want to tilt the glass so that the wine is spread on as much surface as possible, so we can see through it and see what the color is. Yes? So here we have quite pale wine, so it's pale, and it's lemon in color. Yeah? So, the next step, the nose. When you smell the wine, what is the intensity, in your opinion? Light, medium, pronounced?
Light. Light?
Light?
I think so, yeah.
Pronounced? Medium? Medium? It's medium but close to pronounced. It's quite intense. And what are the aromas that you're finding in this one? Apple. Yes, there is a little bit of apple, green apple. Yeah. So in the section that we have about the secondary aromas from the yeast, do you find anything from that group? So biscuit, pastry, bread dough. Yeah, a little bit of yeast, a little bit of fresh dough. Yeah. Yes, this pungent aroma of Fino is very, very distinct. This is what makes Fino actually such a single standing wine. It's so easy to recognize Fino because it has this very distinct aroma. Now you smell it, and now very few other wines have this aroma in this intensity. Good. So let's taste. Let's taste and try to mark what are the levels of sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, and so on. So, is there any sweetness in this wine? No, this is bone dry, and Fino is famously very, very dry. There is normally less than 1 gram of sugar because the yeast feeds of whatever sugar is remaining in the wine. So it is bone dry. What about acidity? So it's a little bit tricky with Fino because exactly, we feel a lot of dryness on our palate. Yes, very, very dry. So the acidity in Fino is rather low, but this is this character again coming from aging under the floor that gives us this distinct drying effect. It's almost like eating fresh walnuts. Yeah, a little bit not even dry. So it dries the palate. It's almost like that. Good. How do you feel about the alcohol? Yeah. So normally when we taste wine, spirits, when there is high alcohol, we feel a little bit of warmth, a little bit of burning. We don't really get that here, but it's a good amount of alcohol. Medium. This is wine that has 15% alcohol, and actually the alcohol holds the wine also together. It gives it a structure, it gives it body. Can can you still taste the wine? Is the finish long? It's quite long, yeah? It's still this yeasty character, fresh bread, a little bit of fresh walnut is still there. Good. And so what's left? How would you evaluate the quality? So we have options between poor, acceptable, good, very good, and outstanding. Yeah? Do you have anything that you would like the wine to have more? Because it's sometimes an arbitrary decision to see what's the quality, but we always try to find if there's anything that we would like the wine to have more of. So for example, if the wine is balanced, if the wine is long enough, if it's complex enough, or it has enough intensity. I think it's a very good wine. Yeah, it's very nicely balanced. It could have a little bit more acidity and freshness, but otherwise it ticks all of the boxes. On personal level, who likes this style? And who tastes Fino for the first time in their life? Okay, good. So most of you are familiar with Fino. Good. So now, just to give you a few extra information. So you see the acidity is very low, it's just 4 grams. Less than 1 grams of sugar, and it's about 10 euros retail price. So you get a lot of flavors and character for quite affordable price as well. Wine 2. Oloroso. Yeah, so Oloroso was the style that is aged oxidatively. Yeah, so we're not going to look for anything with yeast because there's no floor, but we'll be looking for flavors and aromas that come with oxidation. So let's start again from the top. Let's see about the color, the appearance. Yeah, it's rather medium in appearance, and the color is more into amber, yeah? What do you detect on the nose? What aromas? Butter. Anything else? Dried fruit? Yeah? A bit of raisins, figs? Walnut? Yes, it's when you smell this wine, you almost think that's going to be sweet. Yes, because there's a lot of ripeness of the dried fruit. A bit of walnut, a bit of hazelnut as well. Good, let's taste. What other flavors are you getting from this wine? It feels fresher, yes. It feels, the acidity feels higher. I would say at least medium in this wine, yeah. Would you say it's dry?
Yes.
After the Fino, it might feel off dry, but it's still dry. And how do you feel about the alcohol? Is it more present? Do you feel a little bit of burn, or it's nice and smooth? Similar to the Fino. It's still medium, but it's a little bit higher than Fino. You can feel it a little bit more, but it goes nicely. This ripe, dried fruit balances it out very nicely. And so here, we're looking mostly at tertiary aromas, yes, because this was deliberately oxidized wine and white wine flavors as well. Yeah, so again, we have a little bit of orange marmalade as well, a little bit of walnut, almond. Yeah, so it really gets a lot of complexity, yes, from the fruit and from the aging. Good. Any comments about quality? How do you feel it? Do you like it? You feel it's more attractive? Okay. Good. Yeah, it's very good example of Oloroso. Yeah. I would say it's very good as well. It's a different style of wine. I think that when we analyze wine, when we give our final verdict, it's sometimes challenging to be objective because we always feel better about some wines than the other, and our personal taste sometimes can take the better of us, But it's very good, very good. So again, it's higher in alcohol and it's there. You can, if you go back to Fino, you can feel that Fino is a little bit lighter. A little bit more sugar, so less than 4 grams, so it's still within the dry wine. We classify below 5 grams of residual sugar. And also, I think it's quite a good price. This is one of the advantages of sherry, that you can get very good quality for quite affordable price. So, our last wine, Del Duque Amontillado, muy viejo, very old, rare sherry. So, average 30 years in Solera. Yeah, so this is quite unique. Yes, 30 years of aging before the wine is even released to the market. You have to imagine that it's quite you need to have quite a bit of storage space to afford to produce such wines and keep them for such a long time. So we have medium amber in color. How do you feel about intensity on the nose? It's quite pronounced, yes. fruit or flowers. Again, yes, there is no primary, and this is mostly tertiary aromas. So again, dried fruit, nuts, almonds, hazelnuts. Yeah, a bit of coffee beans, caramel, tiny bit of yeastiness. Yes, this Amontillado goes through the process of biological aging as well, so it by definition will have a hint of that as well. Quite nice intensity, isn't it? Yeah? This is very, very pronounced flavors on the palate. So what other flavors are you getting now? Yes, a bit of savory character, yeah? Yes. Amontillado is very famously has this very nutty character. It's very, very dry because not only it was made first as vino, so there was less than 1 gram sugar, and then it was additionally oxidized. Yeah, so we feel it's very, very dry. Yes, again, the same sensation as when we had with this, almost like biting on the fresh walnuts. It's not a very high acidity, but we feel a lot of dryness. And a lot of complexity as well. Yes, you can probably list most of the flavors and aromas from the tertiary for white wine and deliberate oxidation. Maybe not so fruity anymore, but it's incredibly complex and intense in flavors. Yeah, I think we can be safe to say this is an outstanding wine. You taste it and you feel there is so many dimensions and so much strength in the character of the wine. So, alcohol. Do you feel it's a little bit stronger in this one? It's 21.5%. It's quite a lot, but it actually is very nicely integrated. The aromas and flavors are so intense, so pronounced that actually the alcohol feels right. And yes, a little bit higher acidity than the Fino. And yes, wine that has spent so much time aging cannot be too affordable, but I think for what it has, what it represents, I think this is quite a fair price for retail. Good. Any comments or questions to the wines? Yes. This is a small bottle. There can be different reasons for that. First, there's not so much of this wine that is being made. Yeah, producers choose.
Is it related to the shelf life, the size of the bottle? Because once it's opened,
No, because this wine has been oxidizing for 30 years already, so it can't really oxidize anymore. And it's, you know, it has enough, so it has high alcohol content and it's oxidized. So it really is a wine that it stays, even after you've opened it.
It's just a little bit on the fermentation. Is there a specific yeast strain that's used? Is it like a single yeast strain that is used to ferment it?
So for the floor, when the yeast floor forms on top of the wine, it's often a spontaneous process. Because if you go to those old cellars in Jerez, you can see that the walls are full of, you know, the local flora. So the flora sits actually, it doesn't have to be added to the wine. And this is also what traditionally would determine whether the wine would become Fino or Oloroso, because some of the barrels would have very good flora, some of them would not form it at all, and in some of them it would disappear. So it's a constant process also of checking how the wine is evolving in the barrel. Yeah.
Thank you. So you said that you don't add those yeasts by yourself. So how you control the quality all the time and the maintenance will be actually exactly the same. You know what I mean? Because you cannot control the process if you don't add every time the yeast. Am I right?
Yeah, so the floor stays in the barrels all the time. So you only add the new wine. So there is a circulation of wine coming to the system and leaving the system. So the winemaker or the cellar master, he will go and regularly check if everything is happening as it should.
Okay. Does that mean that you maybe have sometimes more waste or less waste?
Yes. In some barrels they will, so they have traditionally a very specific system of codes. They would mark with a chalk on the barrel what is the style currently in the barrel. So some of them will change from Fino to Oloroso or to Pawel. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Really nice class, by the way.
Thank you. We have one more slide, just briefly to talk about sherry in cocktails. So sherry can have all these many different hues and colors and flavors, and this is how this product category can be rich and how it can be applied in cocktails. So, advantages of sherry in cocktails. Lower ABV than in spirits. Yeah, so for one or other reason, some cocktails we want to make them lower in alcohol, and that definitely helps. Then consistency of style and quality. Yeah? So because of the Solera system, constant blending, fractional blending, we have a uniform product. So you can be sure that if you're buying a product from the same producer, from the same brand, you're bound to get the same quality year to year. Yeah? So there is no vintage variation like with red wines or with white wines. Broad range of pronounced aromas and flavors. I think the wines have spoken themselves. And in addition, a lot of those flavors, especially in those oxidized wines, they are those that we often look in spirits that are aged in barrels, yes, in whiskies and bourbon that often use barrels that come from sherry. Here you have these flavors in very concentrated form, but with lower alcohol. Dry or natural sweet, so again, different varieties, yes, from dry Fino to the Oloroso, Amontillado to the sweet styles. Low acidity, So again, this can be beneficial when building a cocktail, and if you want to work with some tropical citrus fruit or mixing it with acidic components, you don't have to worry when you use sherry about that. Price range. Again, you saw that they can be from very affordable to super premium, and finally, long shelf life. And long shelf life would not appear to apply to Fino. Fino is a very delicate wine, and it's best consumed as soon to the release date as possible. And once you open the bottle, you don't want it to stay in your fridge for more than 3-4 days. Else it will start oxidizing. But all the other styles that are aged oxidatively, they can you can work with them for longer diamonds wines. Yeah. So this is everything. Thank you very much for attending. If there are any questions, I'm still happy to answer them.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pawel. I certainly think that I learned a lot more about sherry than I've known before there, so thank you for that. Before everybody goes, we've got a special guest as well. We have Isabel Cockman from GruntowskiWSE, who very kindly provided all the sherries that we enjoyed today, and she's just going to talk very briefly about the liquids that you've been enjoying.
Thank you, Pawel. Great job explaining the liquids. I'm Isabel. Hola. So alongside with my colleagues Simon and Fernando, we would be more than happy to welcome you at our stand here at BCB in Hall 7, A21, B22. So if you have time tomorrow, you'll be more than welcome, because as Pawel said, there are so many different sherry styles. We tasted just 3 of them, and if you would like to go for the other styles, a panacotado, a medium, cream, you're more than welcome to join us and do a little tasting at the stand. Also, if you're a mixologist and would like to learn more about sherry mixology and how to use it in cocktails, you're more than welcome to join our Tio Pipo Challenge next year. It's an international competition. Nearly 20 countries are participating, and you're very welcome to join the master classes and then decide if you would like to register and join. So I've got some leaflets here, but also you find them at our stand. And have fun and enjoy the lovely world of sherry wines. Have a great weekend.
As usual, it's always a great place to be at BCB. I'll be back tomorrow.
Fantastic. Look forward to seeing you then. Cheers.